Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and I've got to pretty much halfway through my 31 days craft challenge. I've made a video or a blog for the last 15 days throughout January, and today I've decided, because I'm halfway through, that I would like to go right back to the beginning, the project that I very first made when I discovered paper crafting. Before that I used to sew, used to do dressmaking and quilting, but I went into paper crafting just because you can make a project so quickly. And the very first crafter that I came across was a lady called May, based in America. I don't know her last name, but she makes absolutely delightful videos. And this was one of the very first things that I made. And so I just wanted to go back to that, to go back to where it all started. So I'm using some of the Golden Honey DSP. So this lovely monochrome, 12 sheets of this DSP, 12 by 12 inches, free for every £45 that you spend in the annual and mini catalogue. So I thought I'd show you how I've made this one. I've not changed any of her dimensions because they work absolutely perfectly. So May, I know you won't be watching this, but thank you for getting me into paper crafting. It's mainly because of you. So let me show you how to make it. So I'm going to start off with a piece of 6x6 DSP. So you could make 4 of these out of 1 sheet of DSP, and I just happen to use the back of this. So out of one of the other quarters, I've got a little piece of DSP here. It doesn't have to be from that, you can use anything. 2 1/4 by 1 3/4, and I want it to go this way. Anything that you're making, you need to be wary of direction, okay, when you start putting your score lines in. And I have deliberately chosen a DSP that has no direction, because whenever I do this I end up with it going the wrong way. But this, I've just made sure that I've got my stripes going that way. It's not going to work with them going horizontally, so I've got them going vertically. So 6x6, and then I've forgotten this already, 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. So what I need to do is put some score lines in. Now let me just go back to this bag, because what I forgot to say, this is pretty much a single-use gift bag, because this is just held down with some mini dimensionals. So really, once it's come undone, that's it. So you might be able to recycle it. Actually, that's coming off quite nicely. But I'm kind of folding that card a little bit. And then inside, I've just filled it with a few sweets. So these are what we got at the bottom of our sweet tin from Christmas. Nobody likes these because they rip your teeth out. But it is pretty much a single-use gift bag. And because it only uses 1 piece of 6x6, it's not so bad. These handles that we've got on here, they measure 1/4 of an inch by 5 inches. And I've just cut those out in basic black cardstock. All of the directions and dimensions and products will be in my blog post, and you'll see a link to that in the description bar. So let's make a start. So I'm going to get my scoreboard. You could use your paper trimmer as well if that's got the scoring facility on it. So on one side, we're going to score at 2 1/4, and we're going to score at 3 3/4, and then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to score at 1 3/4, and I'm going to score at 4 1/4, and that's all we need to do with that. That to one side, and then I'm going to fold and burnish my score lines, and then we're going to do a little bit of cutting. So in the middle here we've got a rectangle, so you want the long side of that rectangle at this side of the paper, and the short side of the rectangle at this side of the paper. And we're going to cut up each of those score lines and then each of those score lines. I'll just grab my scissors. So I'm going to cut up those two first. And like that. So what's going to happen is, once I've got this glued up, these flaps from the inside like that, and then each of these front flaps then fold up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue along each of these folds and also along the outside there. So each of those folds there and at the outside edge as well. And I'm just going to use tear and tape for that. That works perfectly well, which I'll put down somewhere and has disappeared. There it is. Actually looking at it. Right, so let's put some tear and tape in each of these. So just while I'm doing that, we are well into our first month of celebration. So celebration lasts from the 3rd of January to the 31st of March, and for every £45 that you spend with Stampin' Up, you earn a level 1 celebration reward, and for every £90 that you spend, you earn a level 2 celebration reward, and then that reward earns you free gifts. So this pack of 12 by 12 Golden Honey DSP was a level 1 reward. So because I spent £45, then I earned a level 1 reward, and I decided to, with that level 1 reward, exchange that for this DSP. And that was a no-brainer of a decision. It was probably my favourite product in the whole of the celebration catalogue. So I'm going to try and leave links to those in my blog. But if you would actually like to receive a PDF copy of those, just send me an email, taffycrafting@gmail.com, and I'll send that on to you. So what I'm going to do now is just peel off the backing tape of this tear and tape here. There's also an amazing joining offer, and the joining offer is for £99 you can receive, and you choose your £130 worth of goods from the annual and mini catalogue, and a mixture of the two. Any products you like, there's no restriction on that. You also get the mini trimmer and a selection of 6x6 DSP, and you get a stamp set of your choice. All of that for £99 delivered to your door. So if you're kind of intrigued by that and think that you can get, what's probably getting on for £170 worth of goods for £99, then it's worth joining Stampin' Up. No obligation to stay, but the benefits of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator are huge. I've got a video that explains all of the benefits of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, but again, you can drop me an email about that and I'll be happy to fill you in on that. So there are my bits of tear and tape. So looking at it like that, starting with this side, I'm going to tuck that underneath, and I'm going to match that score line with that folded edge and carefully get that to match there, and then stick that down. And then I put some glue on there as well, just so it's not flapping about. And I'll do the same with this. Tuck it in, raw edge meets folded edge, and then we press it down. That overhangs, that's meant to happen. Tuck that one in, raw edge meets folded edge, and then this one takes a little bit of manipulating, but we've got that in there. Be careful with it so you're not ripping the paper. And again, folded edge meets raw edge. Okay, now we've got these bits that overhang, and we're going to fold them over. So I'm going to put some tear and tape here and on here, just so that I can stick those down. So it's a bit fiddly. But if you take, oh, I'm stuck to it. If you take your time, you get there. Flip that one over and we'll put a bit of tear and tape on that bit of overhang as well. Now, before you take off the backing tape, otherwise you'll find yourself sticking to it, you're going to fold that over. So just fold that over that edge and just crease it, and then lift off the backing paper and then fold it back over again. So do that with that one, fold it over, just crease that down, and then we'll remove that backing strip. I'm going to fold that down like that, and that just reinforces the top of that box. And just fold that in. So now we have a box. Now you could leave that like that and you could put 2 handles on it, or you could get, no, that's not going to work. Yep, you could get a bulldog clip and just hold that down like that. So 2 handles, you can carry it, whatever you want. You know, you can get your treats in there, whatever you want to do. But this one, we're going to do a handbag with it. And let's put that to one side. And we're going to go back to our piece of paper that measures, to remind myself of my measurements, 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. Now the first thing I'm going to do on this shorter side is round off the edges. So I'm going to use the detailed trio punch and round that edge off. Just looks a little bit nicer. So we've got that, and we're also just going to curve it slightly. So just hold on to that end there, and I'm just going to just curve it a little bit like that. And then I'm going to put some tear and tape on the back like that. Smush that down. Take your bag back, and at the bottom of the bag here you're just going to squeeze it, and as you squeeze it the sides come out. And it's just going to curve. It has folded just slightly, but that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Your paper might curve. It would look nicer if it curved, but this paper's not going to do that. It's going to try and form a V. So take the backing strip off this piece, and you're going to decide what is the front. Okay, so that's got lots of gold on that, and that would be a shame to cover that up with the front of the bag. So we'll have that as the front, so that we've got that as the back, and we can see that. So take this piece, so that's your glue, and we're going to attach it to this. There's no measurement really about this, just you want it probably about 1/4 of the way down that piece of DSP, and I'm just going to press that down like that. I've just eyeballed that. If you want to measure it, that's absolutely fine. You might feel happier if you've measured it. And then what that's going to do is then come over, and it's going to sit like that. So at this point I'm going to put my treats in there, because once this is closed up, that's it. So there's my sweets. There's my sweets that nobody eats, and I'm going to gift those to somebody who does. So that's what's going to happen with that. So I'm going to put 2 mini dimensionals here. I'm going to put one like that and one like that, and I'm just going to take that backing paper off there. That does not want to come off. Now carefully fold this over before you stick it down. Make sure you've got the right level you know, the correct or your required gap that you've got there. Don't think you want it necessarily completely closed up. It depends what's in it. If you've got things that are quite small and could come out, this is probably not the project for that. So you want to kind of have a bit of a gap there, and then so fold that over, and then you're going to then just stick that to the front. So I'm going to fold it over like that, get that even, and then I just stuck that down like that. So that's the front of my bag, and that's what the back looks like. So I'm going to put a clasp on here. I've got these clear faceted gems, and I'm going to take one of the bigger ones, so the medium size one, and I'm going to put that right in the middle as if it was a clasp. Now we just need to put some handles on there. So I've got 2 pieces of cardstock, and I'm going to give them a bit of a curve, just using a ruler. Like that. Let's do the other one. Now, to hold this onto the bag, I'm going to use mini glue dots, because mini glue dots are particularly strong. And I'm going to put those on the inside of each of these handles now that I've curved them. So take a mini glue dot. So I'm going to put one there like that. I'm totally stuck to that. I've had these mini glue dots for ages. They just seem to go on and on forever. I never seem to run out of them. But you definitely need something like the take your pick tool to handle them, because once they're stuck to your finger, you're kind of transferring them from your thumb to your finger, back to your thumb again. So let's just take this one. So I'm going to go to the back of the bag. And I'm going to put this here, just in a little bit from that outside edge. And then I'm just going to get my thumb and forefinger and just squeeze that on, because once that's there, that's not moving. And then we're going to turn this round, not twisting the handle, and then I'm going to put that in the same position. I'll put that other one right in a second. Line it up. Stick it down and get your thumb and forefinger in there and make sure that's stuck. This one's just wanted to move a little bit. So hold them down together. Just squeeze those tight. Now, you might want to put a button on there if you've got some black buttons, maybe, if you're making this in black and white. But what we could do, could really bling this up. Let's get one of these smaller gems. Let's put that on there like that. Put one there. This is a real proper blingy bag. So if this is a gift for somebody who loves a little bit of bling, maybe you've got some lovely special chocolates in there. Not just the chewy toffees in the bottom of the sweet tin that nobody likes. And then there's my other piece of card, and I'm going to do exactly the same with that. If you want to measure it, you measure it. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to press that one down, and I'm going to turn this one. And I'm going to do the same with that one. The other one just wants to curl around a little bit. We'll soon put a stop to that, and then just press that down. You can use wet glue if you want to, totally up to you. And I'm going to get another couple of these gems, and I'm going to put one there like that, and second one there like, oh, that's a little bit crooked. Let's just move that over a little bit, and there you go. Let's get all the debris out of the way. So I've got two little bags. There's one that I've completely blinged up. There's that one that's I've now opened. So there you have it. A really pretty handbag with a special treat inside, and it's up to you what you can put in there. So thank you, May for getting me into paper crafting. There's plenty of other paper crafters that got me into paper crafting, but May was one of those crafters that got me to crafting and making these pretty gift bags from 6x6 paper. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back again tomorrow with day 16. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.